Good morning, Bird Gang. I hope all you guys are doing well. I'm here with another deal. I have Avi with me. Avi, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well, Sam. Nice to meet the Bird Gang. I'm excited to be here. Excited to talk a little bit about WordRocket and just a little bit more about myself and getting to know you and your community.
Perfect, perfect. We are super excited, and I was actually looking forward for this tool, and I've been eyeing on it since last year. I've been checking it out. I've been checking your videos, so I'm super happy that we did the launch on Earlybird. Can you please tell us about? Uh, okay, let me just give me one second. Just want to make sure we are all good from our end.
No
Okay,
problem.
hello everyone. So I want to make sure if you can tell us about why you build it. And again, you do look super young to build a tool. So I'm like a bit, shocked like when you told me your age. So, and again, you are young, but not that young.
Not that young.
So tell us about why you build the tool, the team behind, your background, your own background, what background you come from, and all the stuff.
Yeah. Well, I think young is relative. I think I'm very old when it comes to my experience in SEO and online marketing specifically. So a little bit about me. I've been in the SEO digital marketing space and evolved into the AI space for over 6 years now. I've been very public facing. I have a YouTube channel. It's under my alias Digital Creator Avi, and that's apart from that, I've been working with agencies in all aspects of digital marketing when it comes to paid advertising, content writing, but specifically search engine optimization. That's really been my focus and my core competency, I would say, for the past 4 to 5 years. So apart from working with many agencies and working with clients myself, because I do get a lot of opportunities and clients wanting to work with me from different parts of the world through my YouTube channel. So I've worked with a lot of clients as well to help them scale and grow their website to increase organic traffic, improve their on-page optimization, improve their off-page optimization, and essentially, bring in more organic traffic that can turn into actual customers for that business. So throughout the whole process, I obviously use tools to help make my workflow faster, right? I use tools to optimize my on page for websites. I use tools to find backlink opportunities, and obviously I use tools to do content writing. So through that process, I use many different tools that you guys may already know. Um, but I found that it was always lacking in what I needed to actually create content that scales. It's a difference if I'm just a individual and I'm trying to just write 5 articles per month for my website, and I do that ever so often. I could probably just use anything that's out there, but I actually probably want to get good results as well. So I found that there wasn't really a tool that met the need that I needed. So I found myself stitching together different workflows to get what I wanted to get from my clients, which was essentially writing SEO optimized content that is not generic. Like I'm not telling ChatGPT to write me an article about a topic and then ChatGPT spits me out whatever it's been pre-trained on, right? Because whatever it's been pre-trained on, if I prompt and put in the topic, and then you, Sam, you put the same topic in ChatGPT, we're going to get very similar results because it's pre-trained on that information. So I found myself having to use different tools to do research because I wanted to get more up-to-date information, and then combining that with another writing tool to give it fresh information with what it's already pre-trained on. And then I have to then give it prompts to write in an SEO optimized format, which is including your H1, optimizing for your H1, including your target keyword, not overly optimizing, but writing also in a way that's readable, for a grade 7 level, making sure everything is formatted well, sounds good, and is actually useful. So then I had to, put another prompt in. And now, if I want to create images, I have to use another tool to create images because, maybe ChatGPT or Claude doesn't even create images at this point, even at today's age. Claude doesn't create images. So then I have to use another tool to create images. So I found myself in all these different places, taking a lot of time for me to get where I wanted to scale my content with my clients. Even though the process worked, it was very manual. It was a lot of different tools, and it took a lot of time. So naturally, as an entrepreneur and as someone who has this issue, I know for a fact a lot of people are having these issues as well. So I started on the journey of creating WordRocket. So WordRocket wasn't necessarily an overnight, tool that came out of the blue. It's funny if you want to know if you want to see something embarrassing, but now I'm happy to look back at it. If you look at my channel, I have a video of when we had the first release of WordRocket. Um, and I like to look at it because it makes me laugh, but makes me proud of how far we came as well. It was completely not good. It was barely working, but it shows you like this idea was always there. It was just about getting it to where I needed it to be, getting the right development, and getting it essentially working how I want it to work. So this has been 2 years in progression. We've been building the product, and we finally got it to a point where now you can automate a lot of the content writing. So if you're an agency, if you're a heavy content writer who really wants to scale content to rank on ChatGPT, to rank on AI search engine, and also to rank traditionally on SEO, you have a tool in which you can insert your topic. We're already pre-prompted. We use the best of the models. I would describe WordRocket as just the best engine. We have the best model for writing. We have the best model for images. We have the best prompts already embedded into the tool, so you don't have to do much of the heavy lifting. We have automated sitemaps as well, so you can automate your internal linking. And we connected with your favorite tools like WordPress. We connected with Ghost CMS as well. So the full content flow is essentially automated, where you can do research on the topic and it'll be live up-to-date research. It writes the content, it's formatted the way you want it to be, and then you can post it anywhere. And you can actually scale this. So it doesn't take you, hours to put everything together. You can write 10, 15, 20 articles in literally 10 minutes. You can fill out a whole content calendar within a couple of minutes practically. And you can even set it up to automatically research, write content, and then post it. So essentially, we've been able to automate a lot of the content writing needs for SEO. So that's kind of a little bit about how WordRocket came into being.
Makes sense. So what I understand, it's a tool that that structure your content for you. And I think I know. Is it like a trained AI you have in the background where it understands what kind of output it needs to give? Is there like a train like I don't know. Sometime I've heard that people actually train the AI what kind of output need to be given, and because you are from SEO background, you probably have I'm guessing put your own expertise in it too to train that AI.
Yeah, so the prompting is really where what separates us and the models in which we're using, right?
Mhm.
So if you take a look at WordRocket, we have the latest and up to date models, and obviously, if you have really really good prompting behind that, the models will give you much better outputs. So all of the content that you generate, there's a huge sort of back end that you don't see, right? And I've taken my years of SEO expertise, but also combined it with what I've learned, right? There's only so much I know, but I go out and I learn and I scavenger and I try to find the most up to date, best information to put into the tool. So when you generate your content, you see that this is SEO optimized. It's not, generic looking, but it's also optimized for AI search, right? That's been a huge push lately for us because we see search changing. Search is not about now ranking on ranking on Google, even ranking number one, number two on Google's SERP. It's actually about your brand showing up and getting mentioned in ChatGPT. So now, if you want to do that, you have to have a whole new set of ways of writing and a whole new set of way of writing now for an AI search bot, right? Because the bots or the AI, like ChatGPT has its bot that goes out and it scavenges the internet, and that's how it chooses what information it's going to actually cite and choose within ChatGPT when you use the web search mode. So, we had to then do a lot of heavy lifting to now train the AI in a way that actually ranks on ChatGPT, but also ranks, and writes content that is going to be picked up by AI search engines. And that's very different from like traditional SEO. So yes, we've trained the AI, and we have a back end of extensive prompting that allows the AI to write the best possible content for traditional SEO and for new age SEO, which is ranking in AI search.
Okay, that's great. I actually, so this AI prompting, do you have like a model where where it can help us write a better prompt? Like, is there anything WordRocket offers?
In terms of writing a better prompt, I would say we have ways like the idea of the tool is to take away the heavy lifting from the user and the guesswork, right? So what I like to, I want when someone uses the tool, like they don't have to do much. So everything is pre-trained and everything is pre-prompted and everything is essentially, set up for the best output. But there is a way in which you can add in your custom instructions if you like. You can add in your custom instructions, and also there's brand voice. So what the brand voice is, that's kind of what you're maybe mentioning or
Yes.
you're talking about, which is the ability for you to train the AI and how your brand actually speaks, right? So if you're a brand and you can customize it based upon your audience, you can customize it based upon your tonality, you can customize it based upon how you write your content, you can customize it based upon the products that you sell, right? So we have the ability to further customize the content based upon your brand, and I think that's a very very good point that and a very very important feature that we have, because you want your content to be sound more like you compared to anyone else. So you do have the ability to upgrade and steer the AI in the direction of your brand using the brand voice.
Makes sense. And I, really like the fact when I see founders who are trying to solve a problem they face and they have expertise in it, because that makes the tool much better because they understand the difficulties, they understand the concept. Like for example, you have a SEO background, you know the what the challenges is, and content writing, how to rank, and it's makes the product much better. Where some products, the founder have never done it, but he's knows how to code, and he can code and he can take instructions and do it. But where other founders, they are in the video industry or they are in the SEO industry, and they are trying to solve a problem because they also face that problem. I mean, they understand the product, they understand the issue, and they have the solution as well too. So I really like that. So thank you for the introduction. Let's get started. I want to see if we give me 1 second. How about you share your screen? Give us a product walkthrough, how the product works, please.
Yeah, do that. Just confirm with me that you can see my screen.
Yeah, I can see. If you want to switch the tab. Okay. Okay, perfect.
Okay, cool. All right, so we'll do a walkthrough of WordRocket. It's very, very easy to use, but there's a lot of advanced features and a lot of powerful features included in WordRocket. So typically, like with any other tool, you sign up for an account. Very, very easy to do so. Just enter in your email and your password and go ahead and create an account. I'm just going to be using the account that I already have because it just has more features and it's easier to show you, all of the powerful features in WordRocket. So once you sign up for an account, if you're a new account, the first thing that you're going to need to do to get everything working is entering your API key, right? So this is very important because again, I think of WordRocket as an engine. It's a content machine engine. It's an engine. It's a best car you could ever think of. Whatever your favorite car is, a Lamborghini, a Rolls Royce, it's that. But to make it run, you need to put fuel, right? So the fuel of it is actually your API key. And it's much better to use your own API key because if you've used your own API key before, it actually costs less in the long run, and it allows you to actually scale your content, especially for writing hundreds of articles per month. So first thing that you're going to do is set up your Open Router API key. Now, if you haven't used Open Router before, it's a very, very popular and well-known. Essentially, it's a marketplace where you can use multiple different models. So all of the top models that you can think of is within Open Router. So that's why we use it, because you need one API key and you can use any of the top models in the world. So once you sign up for Open Router, you just head over to credits, and then you add credits here. I have $16. You need to add a minimum of $10 at the beginning. So once you go ahead and just go and add credits onto your Open Router using any of your payment methods, then your Open Router will be provisioned. So you can go ahead and start using WordRocket. Now, there's a couple other of APIs in which you can use. If you just really want to test it out, you can use the Google AI Studio's free API. So Google AI actually allows you to use a free API. So you just sign up for your aistudio.google.com and you get your API key right within this section. You just go ahead and click create API key. You copy over that API key and you can use Gemini's API key. And again, this is completely free to use, but I would definitely recommend using Open Router because again, you get all the access to the top models and you really get the most out of WordRocket when using Open Router. So that's pretty much it for setup. Once you have your Open Router API key, you're good to go. So now we can get started with one of two things. We can start writing content, or we can actually go ahead and do keyword research. So what I mentioned when I was speaking at the beginning with Sam, I wanted WordRocket to be a one-in-all tool, a tool that you can go to and do everything from keyword research to writing, optimizing your content, and then publishing your content onto whatever CMS you use. So we recently launched a feature which is called Keyword Research Hub. So we can actually go ahead, enter in a keyword, and we can do some research. So Sam, I don't know if you have a keyword that you want me to enter, or you want me to just think of one and enter it in here.
Where do we go? I think we can go either roofing or cabinet, or like this. This is mostly people are writing about, right? Roofing or
Yep. I like
roof repair or roofing repair or a new roof. I don't know.
I like roofing. Let's do roof repair, right? I'm going to keep it. So that's our seed keyword, which is essentially your broad keyword. I'm going to keep the location to United States, language to English. But again, you can change this to any language that we have right now available that's supported. And you can also change the location as well. So we're going to click research keywords. And in a couple of seconds, we're going to get a bunch of different keywords. So the way that our keyword research tool works is that you get an amount of search per month based upon the plan that you're on. And once you enter in that keyword, you will get an average between 250 to 350 keywords, just depending on how popular that keyword is. So we can see here we got 271 keywords. We have the keyword volume, the keyword difficulty, the cost per click, the relevancy, intent, source, AI search questions, and then we have a space for blog title, and we can actually generate our content right from the keyword research mode. So what I like to do is I like to sort by relevancy. So relevancy essentially is how close my seed keyword is to the keyword results that I got back, right? So roof repair near me, roof repair costs, residential roof repair near me, so on and so forth. Now, if you're writing articles, usually you want to go after longer tail keywords. So we have a filter which filters longer tail keywords. So it's going to find you keywords that have at least 4 words, right? So these are going to be longer tail keywords. So I can scroll down here and try to find a keyword that we want to write about. So for example, roof repair costs per square foot. I like this keyword. This is good because this is going to require more up-to-date information. And if you want to get more accurate information, it's going to need to do some research on 2026 costs, because anything on 2024 is going to be incorrect because prices change over time.
Let me add something here quickly.
Yep.
Because I like how you pick this keyword, because if you think of people who are looking for roof repair, they will be searching roof repair near me, or they'll put we are in Canada, both of us, so it'll be roof repair near me, roof repair in Hamilton, roof repair in Toronto, and they will be start searching. And I like the idea that you picked this one, because it makes sense for me, right? And I'll tell you why. And somebody who's researching it, and they will come up to a conclusion that it costs per square foot. And the next keyword, guess what they will be searching? How much it costs repair per square foot. So that's like that kind of strategy, because then you already have a warm up audience, a warm up person who's already looked for it, and now he's looking for the cost, and you are hitting that keyword. So I like that idea.
Yeah, especially in today's day and age, like search is changing. So people want their answers to their questions much quicker. If I'm looking for roof repair, the top question is going to be cost, right? So I agree with that as well. So once we have our keyword selected, we can actually go ahead and click AI Enrich. Now, what AI Enrich does is it's going to go and do some research and bring me back 5 to 7 GEO optimized questions. So, GEO is essentially generative engine optimization. So, we're optimizing for AI search engines like Perplexity, like ChatGPT, Claude, and so forth. So, when someone searches up this information on ChatGPT or any other AI search, our article will actually be referenced. And that's where you can really, really get a lot of traffic and get a lot of buyer intent if your articles or your content can show up and be mentioned by brands like ChatGPT. So here are the 5 questions that we get back here. So what factors influence the average roof repair cost per square foot? And there's a couple of other questions. I'll show this a little bit closer because it might be hard to see right now. But what we've done is we actually get questions related to this keyword that we're going to use for GEO optimization, and then we get a title that's generated. So pretty much we're setting up our article for the best sort of information and to write the best possible article on this keyword. So now what I can do is I can click generate. I'm going to generate a standard article, and once I click generate, the cool thing that happens here is my topic, as you can see, this is a title that we just generated. This title is going to be embedded in the topic. Our web search term, so this is going to be the search term that we're going to actually go out, do research on live, up-to-date 2026 information. We're going to search up this keyword, and we have our target keyword as well that's been entered. And as we can see in our additional context, we can see that we have the AI search questions here. So, what factors influence the average roof repair? How much should I budget for roof repairs based on square footage? What are the most common roof repair expenses? Can I estimate my total repair costs? And what materials impact roof repair pricing per square foot? So, all of that information is in the additional context. So, essentially, this is all hands off, right? Everything has been entered. We have our AI models here. So I personally like to use Claude Sonnet 4.6, and that's our default model. The reason is because I find that it gives the best balance of quality and cost, right? It doesn't cost a lot, but the quality is really, really good. And I think the model is optimized the best for writing content. If you're a really heavy user and you want to write some really in-depth technical content, then maybe I would recommend Claude Opus 4.6. But for everyday use case, Claude Sonnet 4.6 to me is the best. We have some other models as well. We have Claude Sonnet 4.5, Claude Sonnet 4. As I mentioned earlier in the setup, you can actually use Gemini's free models as well. We can test that out later if you guys will like. And we've been testing GPT 5.4, which is the latest model from OpenAI. It's a decent model as well, and you can definitely try it out. But my recommendation is to stick to Claude Sonnet 4.6. I've done a lot of tests, and this just always does the best. Now, when it comes to research, there's 2 models in which you can choose from. You can choose Sonar Reasoning Pro, or you can use Sonar Pro Search. Sonar Reasoning Pro, again, I would leave that as the default because that to me does the best when it comes to most searches. But again, if you're doing really deep research on a topic and you want to do multi-step agentic search, so that means that Sonar Pro is going to go out and search different places like YouTube, Reddit, it's going to do Google, Wikipedia, so on and so forth. You can use Sonar Pro Search, but again, for most everyday use cases, I would stick to Sonar Reasoning Pro. Then you have the ability to add a custom outline. Now, if you, for whatever reason, want to steer the AI in more of a customizable direction, as Sam was asking earlier, you can do so here as well. So you can enter in a custom outline, including whatever you want to include within it. So if you want the AI to include a specific H1, a specific H2, then you can go ahead and do so here. I personally leave it blank for
Yeah.
most use cases, but again, if you have specific things that you want out of an article structure, you can input it here. Then we have the content settings. You can choose the type of article: informational, listicle, how-to guide, anecdotal, story. You have your tonality, so professional, conversational, friendly, authoritative, and casual. Now, language is another huge differentiator in WordRocket. We have over 30, I think the last time I counted, it was like 38 languages that we have. Not just only your basic languages, because we know there's people in different countries. We know that people write for different markets other than, the big ones. So we have a lot of different languages here that we've added in. So if you go through this and for whatever reason, if you don't see your language, send me over an email, avi@wordrocket.ai. I'll take a look at it and we can add in your language pretty easily. I've done this before. Someone said that, hey, my language wasn't on WordRocket, and we added it in because it's easy for us to add it in, and we want everyone to be able to use WordRocket no matter where they are in the world. So that's language. Then you have intended audience. So if you wanted to, you can add your intended audience in this section. Word count, you can choose how long or how short you would like your content. I like anything around 3,000 words is usually good for me. A little bit higher, a little bit lower, that's okay. You don't want to overly, have a long article, while you also don't want to have a super short article. I find that to be a sweet spot. Now, this is the brand voice section. This is where you can actually add in your brand voice. So I'll probably show you guys how to set up your brand voice once we send this article through. But your brand voice essentially will direct the AI in the direction that we would like it to go when it comes to writing content. For this article, I'm going to turn it off because it wouldn't flow well. The brand voice wouldn't flow well with the topic that we've written about. So I'm just going to turn this off for now, but we will test that out and show you how to set up your brand voice. Now, your competitor analysis. This is where you can enter in competitors based upon your keyword. So let's say, for example, again, this is my keyword. I'm going to head over to Google. I'm going to Google this keyword, and I want to find out who are my top competitors. Okay, so we have a website here from Toronto Roofer. So I'm going to go back over to WordRocket. We're just going to remove the old URLs, and we're going to paste in some of our competitors that are ranking the highest for these keywords.
I actually do have one question. I meant to ask you earlier. Didn't want to interrupt, but while you're doing this, I'll ask you. You picked the country as United States. So I just want to make sure that the audience understand, people who are watching on YouTube as well, who are looking at this video and like thinking, okay, why there's a United States, but uh, I'm in like Canada. So should I be targeting Canada if my audience is just in Canada?
Yeah, no, very good question. So what I can do, like, if you want to make it more like local specific, what you could do, for example, we can change Toronto, right? We can change this here to Toronto. But in your keyword section, I think that's what you were probably referring to as well. In your
Yeah.
keyword section, we can change this simply over to instead of using United States, we can change that to Canada. I just wanted to keep it to United States because
Yeah.
I found that everyone is there.
Mhm.
But if you wanted to get more local specific keywords, you just change your location settings. And I can show you guys that in a second as well. Because if I go back, I'm going to lose
Policy.
my information here. So I just want to send this through and then we can go back and I'll show you. But yeah, you can choose your location to wherever you like it to be. Just because we probably have a lot of Toronto based
Because we
queries.
are in Toronto, right? That's why all your search results
Yeah,
came
that's
out.
why all my search results. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do roof repair cost per square foot in Toronto. Right. So now what this is going to do is gonna search up and give me information that's related to Toronto. So I'm just gonna update my title as well, just to ensure that it's gonna follow that instruction there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good catch. Usually we write content, usually for different places, but you can write it for any location that you have. So that's your competitor analysis. You can enter as many as you like, up to 5. And what happens is we're going to extract the keywords from these specific URLs that are ranking, the topics, the structure, and then we're going to identify content gap opportunities. So we're going to do a competitive analysis of these articles, and we're going to find where they're lacking, where they're good, where they're bad, and then we're going to take all that information and essentially create an article that's much better and more optimized than the top ranked articles for that specific keyword. So that's your competitor analysis. Now here's your article elements. We're going to toggle on GEO optimization. So GEO optimization optimizes your content for AI search engines. And you'll see, I can show you guys a side-by-side comparison with an article that has GEO and an article that does not have GEO optimization. It is different the way the content is written because you're writing the content for two different crawlers, right? So for traditional SEO, it's for Google, and for GEO optimization, it's for AI search engines. We're going to keep a hook because I always like to have a nice, engaging introduction. We're not going to write in first person perspective. We're just going to keep it as it is, but you can choose to do so. You can also add in an interactive HTML element. So this is going to be an HTML element that you'll have to embed within your article. That could be something like a roof repair cost estimator. So I can actually embed this, and I'm going to show you guys how this works. You can also include stories and examples. You can toggle that on and off. And we can then include our internal linking. So I've already set up some websites here, and we'll go back again and show you guys how to set up internal linking and sitemaps. Very, very easy to do so. But for now, I'm going to use one of our internal links that we already have. And what the AI is going to do, it's going to go through the sitemap, see what is the most relevant sitemaps or URLs, and intelligently insert that into the articles. Readability. So you can choose readability score of up to college level. Right now, we default it at 7th grade, but you can go onto any readability that you like. I think 7th grade is the best option because it's not too high and, again, not too low. If we scroll down, now we have our image settings. So this is where you can customize your images. So first, we can enter in if we would like to have a cover image or not. I always recommend having a cover image. We can choose as many images as we like. Let's go ahead with 5 images. So we're going to get 6 images in total, including our cover image. If you go to advanced settings, this is where we can actually change how we would like your images to show up. We can add additional image instructions. We can add if we want to have text on the images or not. I always like to have text on my images, but some people don't like to have text in their images. It's literally a matter of preference. Now, my cover image, I can change my size to landscape, square, or portrait. I like to keep mine landscape. If, for example, we have some people who create Pinterest articles, then you would probably want it to be a portrait. You can choose your style as well. We have photorealistic, we have illustration, watercolor, rendering, 3D rendering. You can choose whatever you like. I like to have the AI decide it, and usually the AI does a really, really good job. So again, these are all advanced settings. You can also add an artistic influence as well. There's quite a few that you can choose from. But again, I like to leave it up to the AI. But if you want to customize it, you can. If not, you don't need to, because the AI is going to do a pretty good job at creating the best possible images. And that is it. You set up your article. You're ready to go. We did our keyword research. We have our competitor analysis. We have all of our settings. We have our models chosen. So then we just go ahead and click generate SEO content.
Well, to be honest with you, I haven't used like I have tools, and I always say I'm gonna test them out. I'm gonna use them. I'm gonna write some content. And but seeing this, especially like how much fine tune we can do our article, but just by like using a drop down menu and selecting the right one, and it creates the images and where you want the images to be. it looks like it's like I like where did I use that? But it's a content writing on steroids. So it's a very detailed. And I haven't seen these. I have seen images, but I haven't seen like images that you can add it into your cover page and all that. I don't know. Maybe I'm not using all the content AI writing tool, but I haven't seen these kind of features before. So I really what it does so far. And I'm, sometime, and I'm, to be honest with you, very, very interested myself as well to learn. I want to write, or I want to write a content, or I want to produce a content. But I really like that option.
Yeah. This tool was built, yes, I'm the one who, started building the tool, but a lot of it was also built from customer feedback, right? User feedback that we got, things that people wanted to have that wasn't available in different places. And we're very, very open. Like if you send us a message or a support message, we get back to you pretty quickly and we listen to our users. So, right. So a lot of these things and these settings that we have were really user, requested and things that we saw that was missing. So that's why we really feel that WordRocket fills the gap in many, many areas where tools, fail to have, where not one tool has all of these things included. And this is really just scratching the surface. There's a lot of other features in which we'll go through. But also, so once you click generate, just going back to the demo, once you click generate SEO content, you head over to the my content. It's going to be split between your articles and your images. So I'm going to go to my articles first. As you can see, the article here is writing. So it's going to take a couple of minutes because, as I mentioned, it's a multi-step approach. We do research on the topic, then we take the research that we found using our research models, we combine that with Claude to then write the content, and then we combine that with another AI image model to create the images, insert the images into the article, all while having internal links baked into the article and making it SEO optimized. So there's a couple of different things that's happening at once. But even at that, like let's take a look at the time. It's not going to take you, more than like a couple of minutes to have your content written.
Yeah. You also have selected what, 5 images as well too?
Six. Well, it's going to be 6 images now.
With the cover page, right?
Exactly.
Guys, I just while it's doing that, hi Dolan, hello Chaitanya and Repeat. We have Hanuman, we have Rohit here, we have Kristen, we have Justin, Rohit. Hello everyone. Thanks for joining in. Please hang in there. We are going to do one 50% off coupon. So hang in there, ask your questions, and yeah, we'll go through them. Hopefully, in the end, if the times allow. Also, I want to add, and I don't want to, say something bad about other products, but the people who make these kind of content products, sometimes they don't even have the background of knowledge when they build this tool. They build this tool because they want to build it. But I like the fact that you are from SEO background, you understand what's needed, and you also getting users feedback, and sometimes it makes more sense because you do have a background in SEO, and somebody is telling they really need this feature. You was like, oh, you know what, you're right, you do need this feature. Not like some founders who have no experience in SEO and they're like just taking the feedback and okay, I will add this in there, right? So that's where I think WordRocket is different, and as you can already see from the product, it does have features that are more for SEO content generate tool. Go ahead. Oh, I think it's ready.
Yeah. So the content is ready. Now, I do think so. How it works is, yeah, so the content looks to be ready, right? So, like, that was like maybe 2 to 3 minutes max,
Yeah.
right? Like, pretty quickly. So, once your content is finished, there's a couple of options you have here. You can actually edit the article right within this section. So, if you wanted to edit your article further before posting it, you can go ahead and do so. You could publish this to WordPress, which I'll be showing you guys how to do. You can also publish this to Ghost CMS if you use that. You can create a shareable link and you can copy over just the markdown content, or you can download it onto your desktop. But let's go ahead and take a look at the article. So, decoding roof repair costs, a comprehensive guide to price per square foot in Toronto. So, this is the image that we get back here. And again, you get the title within the image. Now, a big issue with AI images is usually the text is distorted, and the text sometimes doesn't look as good. But in this example, in all of the examples with WordRocket, we really ensure that there's no distortion in the text, because that just shows that it's AI generated. So we have our cover image here, and this is where the GEO optimization comes in. For you to rank in AI search engines, your content needs to be fresh and updated. That's the content that ChatGPT likes, Perplexity likes, Gemini likes, and even Google as well. So we've added in the ability to, when you generate your content, it will say when it was last updated, right? So today is March 25th. So it's going to have March 25th, 2026. So this just shows Google that it's fresh, it's up to date, it's new, increasing the likeliness that it'll actually rank this piece of article here. And then right away we get our quick answer. And again, very, very important, because our quick answer is what the AI search engines need right away, because AI search engines and even people in general, they need to parse the information quickly, get the answer quickly, so that it can then use that information or cite that information on ChatGPT. So we get the quick answer. In Toronto, the roof repair cost per square foot typically ranges from $3 to $15 Canadian for repairs, and $8 to $25 Canadian per square foot for full replacement, depending on material, complexity, so on and so forth.
I just want to add one thing. It's actually what you just explained. It's I never actually thought of it, and it actually, if you think about it, it makes sense. So if if ChatGPT is going scraping your page, and it's, let's say if it's searching 10 pages or crawling all the websites, and when this content gets hit, it gets the answer right away. So AI doesn't have to do too much of work and produce your answer, either first or right away on the priority, right? Because it has a quick answer and has a date. So it's actually a genius idea. I don't know if this idea was you guys did it, or if some customer. It's a great idea. I love it.
Yeah, it's kind of where search is going, right? Like the AI doesn't want to go through and read through, a two, 3,000 word article to get you the answer at the bottom. And even a user, like think about it from a user perspective, right? If I'm searching things up, not because information is so like quick, if I search it up and I look in this page and I click in and I see the answer right away, I'm like, okay, this is good. Let me keep on reading as well, right? So it actually allows, it's good for the user, it's good for the AI search engine. Um, and it just gives the answer right away. And we found that these are the articles that rank the best. So we have the quick answer, then we have the key takeaways as well. So quick answer right away answers the question, and then we have key takeaways. So roof repair cost per square foot, the range. We have some information about the laws. Canada's roofing contractor industry is valued. Da da da. Insurance may cover if it's a storm or hail damage, so on and so forth. And if you see these numbers here, these are actually in-text in-text references. So these are all referenced from actual information. If we scroll all the way to the bottom of the article, which I will in 1 second, you'll see the references there. So where they're actually getting this information from. So we have our key takeaways. Then we have our image. This is obviously Toronto. We have 3 different sizes of roofing here, and we have a price per square foot, or sorry, probably 3 different materials of roofing here, right? But looks really, really good, really clean, very useful. Doesn't look like a sloppy AI image. And then this is where we get into the actual questions, right? What is the average roof repair cost in Toronto? The average, and then we get a beautiful table here, right? So this looks really, really good. Again, things need to be skimmable. You need to be able to read it. It needs to be formatted well. As you can see, this table here is very, very easy to read. So we get the job type, the cost per square foot, typical cost, and again, very, very useful here. And then we get a pull quote, how it works, what factors affect roof repair costs per square foot in Toronto. So we get the factors that affect it. And again, here's another image here that we get back. So asphalt shingles, metal roofing, cedar shake, composite tile, EPDM rubber, right? So these are all different materials for roofing, and we get a cost per square foot. So again, I would say that this is a custom image that was created uniquely for this article, right? And I would say that this is a really, really good image. It's relevant, and again, just looks really good. How does the lifespan of roofing materials compare? So I don't want to go through every single thing of the article, but as you can see, it is very, very well formatted. It gives you the information. It looks great, has custom images built in as well, and custom references. So when should you repair versus replace your roof in Toronto? A great question. Another image is here as well. Winter versus summer. So the different costs during winter versus summer. A nice comparison image there. What are the labor costs? What does the installation process involve? Again, another nice table there. So a pretty in-depth article. It's not like a surface level article that's a couple hundred words. The word count, I would say this is probably well about 3,000 words. And then we get another image here. What are financing options? A table. And then here's our roof repair cost calculator. So a lot of people ask me about this, and I'll show you how to actually use this. Yes, it looks like it's just random code here, but you have to convert this into HTML, and I'll show you how to do that on your WordPress site once we actually go ahead and publish this onto WordPress. And then we get frequently asked questions, a conclusion, and as I mentioned to you, here are the references that we get back. So the references are, as you can see, 2026 references. If I go ahead and open up these references, they're not, dummy sort of URLs that the AI just makes up. They're actual URLs based upon information. So again, we go ahead and we take a look at this. This really improves the weight of the article because it actually has live and up-to-date information from websites that are writing about this content. So we're taking all of the live information and using it within our article. So again, here's another website here, and we have about 6 different references that we use in the article to increase the relevancy of the information that we're writing about. And then below that, we have just a conclusion. We do have some internal linking here as well, but because I think I used a medical website, a medical based website for internal linking, so it wasn't able to find a lot of internal linking opportunities. But as I will show you guys later, it does internally link throughout the article as well. And then below this, we have our meta title or meta description, and then our tags. These are for your WordPress categories or your WordPress tags once you publish this to WordPress. And there you go. There's your article. If you scroll down, you'll actually have your images as well. So you can go ahead and download these images if you want to save them. You can see the prompt as well if you ever need these images for any other articles.
Makes sense. Perfect. So far, so good. And it's I'm just shocked, like, because it's the content it produced, it's actually, does make sense. And you want to, because the way you are going through it, it actually makes sense because it looks like it's well written, thoughtful, and somebody have actually put an effort into it.
Yeah.
So and again, images are also good, and it represent Toronto. That's where we are. That's
Yeah.
Perfect.
So I
Too
can
good.
show. Thank you. So I can show you guys now what this looks like when you publish it to WordPress. So again, as I mentioned, you can hit publish to WordPress. I've already connected my site. I know there's a couple things I have to still go. I want to show you guys what it looks like first, like how everything looks, and then we'll go back and configure some of the settings because I think those are the easier things to do. Right. So once I do so, I have a list of sites in which I can choose from. So I'm going to choose one of my sites here. And then we can publish as. You can choose any author on your site that you have. So if you have different authors, you can go ahead and choose them. You can choose to publish this as a post, which is going to typically be a blog post article, or for whatever reason, if you want to publish this as a page, you can go ahead and do so. We can choose to publish this as a draft, or we can publish it immediately. So we're going to do a draft for now. We're going to choose this site, and we're simply going to go ahead and click publish. It takes a couple of seconds, shouldn't take too long. Sometimes it takes longer than other times.
Okay. Just a quick question here.
Mhm.
Um, does when you do publish it on WordPress, does it limit like what kind of builder or what kind of you're using Elementor or using Gutenberg? Does it make any difference?
Yes, so there is a little bit of differences between depending on the builder in which you're using. We've tried our best to make sure that our WordPress integration, it works well with any sort of builder in which you're using. But I'll kind of show you like what the difference is. So if I
Sure.
go over to post, so it's so this is it. This is the article here. Even though it's said, but I think
It's
it's just
published already.
yeah, but it did post. Like if you go ahead and take a look at it, it's right here.
Yeah.
So if I go ahead and click edit, right? So you can see the difference is that sometimes, depending on the builder that you have, sometimes something may look different, but we've pretty much went ahead and tried our best to ensure that any builder that you use, it will work well um, with our WordPress integration. So as you can see, this is the title, this is the image. If we scroll all the way down here, all the images, the title, everything has been pulled. So this is the difference. If you're using a different um, sort of builder, then this would sometimes automatically be transformed. But if you're not, then you'll have to manually transform this over to a HTML element, because there's nothing that we can do about this part because it's an HTML. So some builders will actually convert it automatically, while some builders you'll have to go out and just manually convert this into an HTML. So I'll show you exactly what that looks like.
And again, this is optional because you did click on the HTML that you wanted, or if you don't want it, then it won't do that, right? Not because not everybody will need this anyways.
Exactly. So this is completely optional. You don't have to do this. I just added it in because some people use it and they tell me that they don't know why it's not working. So I wanted to show you guys quickly how it works, right? So you just simply have to convert that into an HTML element.
Yeah, I think
So
you should just tap the other one and just convert it there. Maybe you would have done the trick. I'm not sure.
yeah. So I just wanted to show you quickly the references here, and I'll go back to that. So here's the references, right? That's embedded. Now, what has also been embedded is the title and the meta description as well, right? So we can see here that the title has been embedded, and the slug and the URL has also been embedded into the Yoast SEO. So for rank math for Yoast, all of the title, the meta descriptions, and the categories will be pulled into the WordPress site as well.
Have you tested with SEO Press? It's similar as like Rank Math and
I
um,
I don't know if I've used rank math Yoast SEO. I think we had a question. I can double check to see if we also support SEO Press as well.
yeah, perfect. Thank you. That will be great. That's what I use. I switched from Rank Math to SEO Press, uh, and I've been happy. Been happy with it.
Okay. So that's kind of how it will look once you post the article over to your WordPress site. Again, every single WordPress is a little bit different. This is a test dummy account that we have. I usually use a different WordPress builder on a different site, but that's a client site. So everyone is a little bit different, but as you can see, your content will be posted, and you can post it as a page, as a post, or you can post it as a draft or publish it immediately. So let's just go over some of the settings of WordRocket to kind of get everything set up and working. So to do so, head over to settings and integrations, and then you can go to general. And this is where you can set up first your brand voice, your sitemap, and your publishing. So the first thing that I would recommend is setting up your brand voice. So you just head over to brand voice again under settings, go to create brand voice, and this is where you can set up your brand voice. So you can give it a name. So say test one, and then you want to give a description of your brand. So what your brand does, who you guys serve, just so the AI can understand more about what you do and who you are. Then you have tone guidelines. So this is where you can enter in your tonality. So you can enter in different tones for how you like the AI to write. writing style. So if you wanted to use short paragraphs, if you wanted to use active voice, examples, and analogies, again, you can go ahead and add this in. Key phrases as well. So you can add in different phrases that you would like the AI to include within your article and then your target audience. And you can simply go ahead and create your brand voice. So this is an example of what a brand voice would look like. You can enter in all of the information here. We're probably going to add a way in which you can simply scrape your website or scrape any of your older content to then create your brand voice to make it a little bit easier to do so. Under brand voice, we have sitemaps. So sitemaps allow you to internally link throughout your article. So this is what the AI is going to use to find the most relevant URLs and then insert that into your article. So as you can see, we have a couple set up, but I'm going to walk through setting up one of the sitemaps right now. So let's do, we'll do one of our websites that we usually use. So the way that you get a sitemap is that you need to enter in the sitemap URL. So it's going to be https://example.com/sitemap.xml. So every single website usually has this format for a URL, and you can enter, and that's how you can essentially set up your sitemap, right? So as you can see here, here is what the URL will look like. So whatever your URL is, /sitemap.xml, and then you go ahead and click sitemap. So your sitemap is going to be added onto your website. Once it's added on, you need to then refresh to scrape all the most relevant URLs. So I'm going to click refresh here.
I'm a bit lost here. So I'm going to ask you a question a little bit.
Yep.
Okay. So this, I thought the sitemap you added on your WordPress, you have your sitemap, you upload it, you give the link to index the page, and so I don't understand why we're doing it here.
Yeah, so you do that on WordPress, and you do that on your Google Search Console as well to ensure like that Google can index your website. So the way that WordRocket works to gather all of your let me just paste this into Google so you can kind of see it. So the way that WordRocket works to find all of your sitemap is that we'll go over to this page here. It's just loading a bit weird, and all of your URLs are going to be there, right? All of your posts, all of your page URLs are going to be here. So what WordRocket does is it then goes ahead, it copies and saves all of those URLs. So when you're generating an article, it'll then select which URL is the best to internally link in that article.
It makes sense. Okay, that's I actually was wondering when you were doing the internal link. I'm like, how does it know where the internal links are coming from? So now it makes sense.
So that's how we scrape. Now you can actually go ahead and add manual URLs, because every website may have some security issues that may block it. So for whatever whatever situation you're in, you can always go ahead and manually enter in your URLs. But we've made it so you can automatically just enter in your sitemap URL, which is usually just your website /sitemap.xml. And we support different versions of this URL. And again, if you have any questions or if you have any issues that you run into with your sitemap, you can send us over a message, a support message, or you can actually go ahead and take a look at our docs. So we have a documentation and support document, and you can go through this, simply search up sitemap if you have any questions with your sitemap, and you can find all the answers to your questions in our docs as well. But yeah, very, very easy to set up. Just enter in your URL and then you can scrape it. And then all you have to do once you scrape it is you need to refresh it. And you can see here, 755 URLs were found. And we see that it was last scraped at today's date and today's time. So your sitemap is now set up. When you go to generate any of your content under sitemap, you'll see the sitemap pop up in this section. You can choose whichever sitemap you would like to use.
Okay, that was my, I was gonna ask, okay, how does it know? Because you have so many sitemaps, and if I'm creating an article for roofing and it doesn't overlap with the cabinet guy content, so now it makes sense. Perfect.
Exactly.
So I guess Before you start, I guess you should do your brand thing. If you want to do it, do that first. Second, do the sitemap, and then maybe start generating the content, right?
Yeah, I would say like it depends. Yeah, for sure, sitemap, brand voice first, sitemap second. And then if you want to publish directly to WordPress or you want to publish directly to Ghost, CMS, then you can go ahead and set up your publishing. So publishing is going to be right under this section here. And this is where, again, you can set up so that you can essentially keep everything hands off, just create your content and send it over to whichever CMS you're using. This would be the first three things that I would set up for sure. So I can walk through setting up our WordPress plugin here. Very, very easy to do as well. So I'm going to go to view setup instructions. So first, going back, I went over to general settings and then publishing. And we're going to open up our instructions here. So it's going to walk me through how to set up the plugin and in case you run into any issues. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to download the plugin, right? So I'm going to download the plugin here. I'm going to head back over to my website. Now, what I'm going to do is, because I had to leave the plugin to work for the demo, I'm going to remove the plugin so we can start from step 0, essentially, so everyone can kind of see how it works.
Just a quick thing. So if even though if you delete, like if you know if you have a client who no longer want your service or something like that, and you delete the plugin, the content will still remain there, right? What is published, right? It's not
Exactly.
going to go away or something.
Exactly. No, that's a very good question. It would stay there. It wouldn't affect anything. It just, you wouldn't have the ability to publish from WordRocket to WordPress.
Makes sense.
Okay, so now we have no old WordRocket plugins. I'm going to click Add Plugin. Then we're going to click Upload Plugin. Choose File. So that was the latest one, which was 18, because I have a lot of, duplicate ones because I do this often. So just choose the plugin. It's going to within your drive. Then we're going to click Install Now. Right, so we see it's unpacking. It's installed the plugin. The plugin has been installed successfully. We're now going to click Activate Plugin.
Now, this plugin, is it mostly for the publishing purpose, or does it do anything else?
It's mostly for publishing, I would say. It's really just to automate your content so that you can essentially post from WordRocket over to WordPress. Excuse me.
So I guess once if you have if agencies who are using WordRocket, just install the plugin on your client, and start generating content, start charging them whatever $25 an article, whatever. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah, you can totally do this, and you can download it onto pretty much as many sites as you like, depending on the plan that you're on. So once you have the WordPress plugin, I believe, because mine is already going to be activated, so it's already activated here, the WordRocket publisher. Now I'm going to head over to settings, right? So very important, settings in your WordPress menu. So we're going to go to settings. We're going to go all the way down to WordRocket, right? So I'm going to go ahead and copy this over. And this is where you're going to get your information to set up your WordPress plugin. So your API key, we're going to copy that over. And then we have our site URL. And that's the only two things that we really need. Your API key again, and then your site URL. I'm going to head back over to WordRocket. I'm going to delete this old connection. As you saw, again, I had my API key copied. So I'm going to copy over my API key. Just for good measure, I'm going to copy over my URL as well. So just so that I'm not, messing up anything. And then I'm going to give it a name, right? So you can name it anything that you like. Site name, It can be anything that you want. The most important things are your API key and your site URL. And then we're going to click connect. Boom. After a couple of seconds, your site is now connected and you can publish content to your WordPress site.
Okay, just a quick question. The API key, you got it from the WordPress or you got it from the WordRocket that you
We
copied?
Yeah, so we got it. So every time you connect you upload a plugin onto WordRocket, you upload the WordRocket plugin onto WordPress under the settings section here. So the first, once you activate the plugin, you head over to settings on your dashboard of WordPress, and then you go to WordRocket, and then you copy over the API key that is going to be configured and
Right.
generated in the dashboard of WordPress. So you copy this
Perfect. Makes
over,
sense.
yeah,
Makes sense. Makes sense. Got it.
and then you go back over and you enter that into WordRocket here,
So
and that's it.
basically, WordPress, you get the key, you copy paste it to a WordRocket, and you're done pretty much.
Exactly, that's it,
Perfect.
and you're all set up to go there. A couple of other features that we recently just launched. A lot of it was, we wanted to push for a lot more agency features, especially with the collaboration with Earlybird. One of my newest favorite features is the client profiles. So essentially, what this does is, as you can see here, we have a client profiles on the top left section, and this is going to be really, really good for agencies or individuals that have multiple clients that they want to manage with WordRocket.
So, just 1 second. I just want to make sure people understand. So, this is the agency plan, which is mapped to tier 3. So, this is something, these features you'll be getting on agency plan. And I think the next one is tier 5, which we have a exclusive white label option. Tier 3, this is where what you're going to get. So, go ahead. Sorry.
No, good clarification for sure. Yeah, so this is more agency and higher tier features. Number one is going to be the client feature, which I was mentioning. So the way that this works is if you have multiple clients and you don't want to essentially configure new settings for each client and you want to really have separation, you can create a client per account. And every time you use that client, all these settings will change for that specific client. So let's say we're doing a roofing client, right? So that's the client or brand name. We can change our tone. Let's say they want to speak a little bit more, friendly. And let's say their language is now in Spanish because this is a Spanish client, right? You can choose language and your word count. You can, again, keep that as you like. We can change our article type. Let's say we want to do only listicle style. Now, let's say we created a new test for them as well. We can give them a new brand voice specific for that client. Then we can choose our internal linking as well, which can be specific for that client as well. For additional context, we can add any additional context for that client. So I'm going to put I'm just going to put this here so that we can actually see that this is going to be embedded every time we generate an article for this specific client. Let's say we want to write in first person, we can go ahead and choose that. So these are the article elements, but essentially we're creating global settings now. And readability, we can keep the readability at a grade 7. We can choose our model for that specific client. Let's say they just want to use Opus. We can choose that. We can choose how many images we like for this client. And we can also change our image sections as well. So our advanced image instructions. And let's say they wanted to only use WordPress. We can only set up that WordPress site. So here's just an overview of the client profile. And then we can go ahead and create client profile. So now that the roofing client profile has been created, I can now go over to client, select my roofing client. Now, if I go over to generate content, we can see here our additional context that we entered has automatically been embedded. Our word count has automatically been embedded. If I turn on brand voice, it chooses the brand voice that we had. The article elements has been embedded as well, and it's went ahead and shows the the internal links, and it's went ahead and saved our image settings. So essentially, the brand profile allows you to reconfigure for any one of your client, and this works in any of our templates. So even if we go over to our product roundup template, which we didn't really get a chance to go into, we can see that the additional context again has been pulled. If we head over to our bulk generate as well, new batch, we can see again that the client profile has been pulled as well. So everything kind of saves here, right? We can see everything saves here for the client profile. So it saves you time. We can see the auto publish feature has been saved as well, with the actual website that we added in for that client. So client profiles allow you to save time by setting up clients and seamlessly switch in between clients to change settings for the content creation.
Do the client get access for this? Is there a option?
So as of now, we have team members. So if you wanted to, if you head over to account on team, you can technically add a client under your team members if you'd like to do so. We currently don't have like a if you wanted to create a way in which you can invite a client so that they can see it. Because I would say in my experience, most of the times, agencies kind of keep it separate from clients, but that's something we can definitely take a look at. If there's a need for it, we can have a way in
Yeah.
which you can invite.
What I was thinking, and I agree with you, actually, you should, as an agency, and if you do want to keep this thing for yourself and you do it for, it's just for your ease, that you can pick a different client profile and, generate the content. But yeah, I don't know if agency would, like this feature to give a client the option, because they're gonna kill their own revenue by doing this. So makes sense. Looks like, we are already, cross our 1 hour, and I know we have a lot of features that we haven't even discussed. How about we also talk about the exclusive feature that we have for Earlybird, the tier 5, where they get the white label option, which I'm quite shocked that you are offering this.
Yeah, so we have the ability to white label, and as Sam was mentioning, it's available exclusively for early bird. So we did something, we wanted to do something specific and exclusive for you guys. So we've added in white labeling, which allows you to essentially white label how you like WordRocket to look like. So you can change your primary color, you can change the accent color. So if you wanted to do something like, you know, something green, right? You can go ahead and change everything as you like. And then you can change the branded URL. So you can have your own branded URL as well. You can change the logo. You can upload whatever logo that you like. And then you can get a branded logging URL, right? And what we've also added in was the ability to do custom domains. So if you wanted to, as of now, it's a little bit more manual. So you have to send us, you have to request to have a custom domain. But if you like to do this on tier 5, you have the ability to add your own custom domain. So not only would your branding change, your custom domain will actually have your own branding as well, and there'll be no remnants of WordRocket. So, for us, it's we as I mentioned, we want to create a content engine in which you can use, or you can use it for yourself internally. You could white label it, whatever you like to do with the tool, you could do with it as you like. So that's kind of why we created it. So let's say, for example, I copied over the branded URL. If I head over to Google, I just paste in that branded URL, give it a second. Everything should change here color wise. Just give me 1 second. Let me log in. Oh, sorry. I had to click update branding. Sorry. That's why it didn't work. Right. So that's updated. Now, if I go ahead and take a look and log in, Yeah, so as you can see, it's already changed, right? So you see the colors change, and there's nothing with WordRocket.
Makes sense. Super cool.
All right, let me just log in quickly so you guys can see. Right, so it's like it looks, as you can see, like the colors have changed. There's nothing with WordRocket. Your own email gets changed as well here, right? So true white labeling is something that we've just included, and it's exclusive right now to Earlybird.
Um, I think we do have one more feature that you want to do, the MCP server.
Correct? Yep.
I think it's it's something available for tier 4, right?
Correct.
Okay, so can you just explain the audience and
Yes.
actually myself too? I want to know as
Yeah,
well.
we've also exclusively are offering API access, so WordRocket's API and MCP. So if you don't know what those are, essentially the API access allows you to use WordRocket outside of the WordRocket platform. If you have a custom website, if you have a custom software or tool, you can use the API to make calls, just as what we did in today's video, which was creating articles, doing keyword research, writing content, posting onto your WordPress site. You can do all of that automatically using the public API of WordRocket, right? So again, it's only available in the higher tiers. I think tier 4 and tier 5, we have it available. But essentially, the way that it works is you just set up your key, right? You can name it so test, create a key, give it a second. It's going to give you an API key. And then you can go ahead and copy over that API key and use WordRocket within any platform or any software or any custom build that you have. We also have MCP server. So essentially, you can connect WordRocket to Claude Desktop, Cursor, or any MCP compatible AI client. So again, if you wanted to create your own workflow, this is where the API and the MCP can be very useful. Instead of having to log in and use WordRocket,
Oh, it looks like we just got disconnected. Just bear with me, guys. I'm bringing him back. Okay, we had a little bit of hiccup. Let's share your screen again. Okay, go for it, buddy.
okay, so you can see
That
everything.
was a quick comeback, eh? Love it. Fastest I've ever seen. Thank you.
So I'm good. I'm good to go.
Yeah, you're good to go, bro.
Yeah, I was just explaining the API and the MCP. So I don't know where I got cut off, but essentially for API access, you can simply just go ahead and get your API key, and you can use WordRocket in any custom environment. You can use any custom workflow that you want to build using WordRocket. So the same things that we did in today's video, for example, keyword research, writing of content, setting up your content writing and publishing onto WordPress or any other places, you can do so using the API and also do so using the MCP server. So MCP connects WordRocket to Claude Desktop, Cursor, or any other MCP compatible AI client, right? So you just go ahead and add this file, and the tools that you have available are you can do keyword research, you can generate an article, you can pull any articles you have from WordRocket, you can list articles, you can get your job status, you can publish it to WordPress, and you can get usage. So some use cases could be, let's say you set up a MCP server that pulls your articles from WordRocket and posts it onto, like, let's say a custom build website that you have, that's not necessarily WordPress or something you build from the ground up. So that is the integration that you have, and the workflow. It really is endless, the possibilities in which you guys can do, and I'm sure you guys will come up with some cool use cases of using the API key and the MCP server. And again, if you need any support, you can shout support at wordrocket.ai, or again, you can head over to the docs that we have. And if you go to public API, you'll be able to see more information on how to set up the API and how to set up the MCP servers as well.
Okay. I just want to make sure clear this up. The tier 4, the one is with map with the white label and agency plan, where you get the custom domain that offers the API. and MCP server. It's a tier 4. Okay, guys. I just want to make sure people understand that.
Yeah.
uh, what else we have? Do you bulk? Yeah, bulk. I think that's. I think that, I I'm, honestly I'm enjoying it so much, even for myself learning this, um, because it's I have, like I said, I've used bunch of them. I had owned bunch of tools. This is probably it's going to be my best one that I'm going to start using it for myself as well. Thank you. So let's do the bulk one because people like bulk
Yeah.
content generation.
So there's two really, really powerful features here. We have automations and we have bulk generate. We'll go through bulk generate first, and then we can go through automations very, very quickly because it's one of the most powerful features on WordRocket. Let's go through bulk first. So this essentially allows you to generate up to 20 articles at once without diminishing the quality of the articles. So we're going to do a test batch. We're going to go for, let's say, 3,000 words. We can choose again. We can every setting that we have, we can choose in the bulk generation mode. So we're gonna go for English. We're gonna go for professional. We're going to keep this as it is. I always like to use web research mode because I find that the quality of the content is just much better. We can leave on our brand voice for this testing so you guys can see what it looks like. We're going to keep geo optimization on. For images, we're going to choose 3 images, including our cover image. We're going to use the TMSC site link. And then for WordPress, let's go ahead and enable WordPress posting. So we're going to actually post all of the content that we generate right onto our WordPress site.
That's crazy, bro. How many are you doing? 10?
We're going to do 10 for this test, yes.
And 3 images per
Yep.
article.
So you're going to have 30 images that we're going to generate with 10 articles. That's going to have live web research content included. We're using Cloud Sonnet 4.6, and we're going to publish it straight to our WordPress site.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. I think it will take 10 minutes, I guess, as well.
It should take less. I just stopped sharing my screen for 1 second. I'm going to pull up some keywords that I have.
Yeah, some secret keywords, guys. That's what we want to know. Love it. It's so far it's been very enjoyable. And I think we got few questions coming up here. Let's get back.
Yeah. So I was like, you know what? I was gonna pull up keywords, but let's just use our keyword research tool, and to show you more. So this is a medical center. So I'm just gonna get some medical terms. So we're gonna go ahead and click keyword research. I'm actually using the white label dashboard as well. Again, I just wanted you guys to kind of see, the flexibility of how WordRocket is. So what you can actually do is you can copy over your keywords. So let's say we wanted to generate 10 different keywords. We can select all 10 of these. I think that's 10, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? We can select these keywords and export them, or it's 11. We can click export. And then if we go ahead and take a look at our list of keywords here, our keywords will be exported. So I can go ahead and simply copy over these keywords, head back over to WordRocket, and now we're back in the bulk generation mode. I'm going to paste this in here. We have 11 topics. I'm going to remove just this one because it's too vague. So now we have 10 topics in which we can write about, right? So I simply did our keyword research, copied over those keywords, and pasted it in. Now I'm going to click parse topics. It's essentially just going to, individualize the topics so it doesn't combine 2 different topics. Then we're going to go to continue to review. Now this is where it gets even more powerful. So instead of sending this right over to the content writer, you can actually individualize and customize each one of these articles if you like. So let's say, for example, one of these topics you wanted to, right from the first person perspective. You can go ahead and individualize the setting there. If you wanted to, increase or change the readability level, or if you wanted to decrease the images, you can go ahead and do so for each one of the individual articles in the bulk generation mode. So again, this just allows you to be able to further customize and not lose the quality of the article, um, just because you're bulk generating them at once. So now that everything is set up, I'm going to hit generate 10 articles. It's going to take a couple of seconds, and everything is going to be done in the background. All right. So this is our test batch, our batch here. So we can actually go ahead and see once those articles are finished, and we can take a look at them once they're done.
Perfect. I also wanna uh, do subscribe to Avi YouTube channel. He does post a lot of good content related to WordRocket or even for SEO stuff. So the link is right here, guys. So please make sure you go and subscribe to Avi's YouTube channel. And again, learn, message him. He's again needs your feedback. If you have any ideas that you think will be benefiting from WordRocket, shoot him a message.
Thank you. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, or if you want to learn more about just SEO or AI or WordRocket, then that would be a good place to find that
Um,
information.
can we, while it's doing this, can we just quickly also go through some of the Q&A?
Yep.
We have few questions. Again, the time we have, I think, looks like we should have done this in part 1 and part 2. Uh, let's go. Uh, Okay, just as saying, I wasn't sure that I would be interested in this, but it is really nice looking tool. Thank you, Justin. Can we generate content in multiple language?
Correct, you can.
It's from Rohit.
Yep, Rohit. There's about 38 different languages in which you can choose from. A lot of them are, not just the basic languages, as you can see here. We have languages that are a little bit more unique. So most languages are available. If there's a language that you want to write in that you don't see, send me over an email, avi@wordrocket.ai. I'll take a look at it. If it makes sense, we'll add it into the tool.
Okay, we have another question is from Ruhani, is a friend of mine. One of the common problem with these platforms is that they don't focus properly on integration. I hope this does not export in WordPress using a classic editor. The standard should be a block editor compatibility.
Yeah. I would have to take a look to see what we're doing, but I know we're using a REST API, I believe, for the WordPress integration. But I don't know the difference between if it's block or if it's what's the other one that the person
Classic editor.
offered.
So yeah, I think he's more into the WordPress
Yeah,
ecosystem, and he is expert in this. And if you want, I can get you connected with him, and he can provide you feedback. He is an expert in WordPress. He has contributed to a lot in the WordPress community and plugins as well.
yeah, it's a
So
good question. I can definitely take it back to the team, and then
yeah,
we
and I'm sure
probably have an answer. I just don't know.
his feedback will be valuable. Even he can provide you solutions too.
Sounds good.
We have Hanuman here. Hi, Hanuman. I love WordRocket already integrated with Straco
Correct.
API. Okay.
Correct. So we have an integration with Strico. It's one of our alternative API options in the settings. So if you actually go to settings here, API keys, if you go down to alternative,
Okay, I see it.
yeah. We don't have to get into it, but there's some reasons why we like it and some reasons why we don't like it. But we had the option because a lot of people asked us that they want to use their tokens or credits that they have on Strico. So we have that option available.
All right. If you like, is these integration, does it require you a lot of work, or how does it work? I just want to know from my own.
Yeah.
Is it like very time consuming for you guys to do integrations, or is it like pretty straightforward if the other company is willing to do it?
For us, it's all about, yes, if there's a need, right? If there's a lot of people that want an integration for whatever reason, and we find at the end of the day, like, yes, like this is a tool that we build, but you know, it has to make sense from like a business perspective for us to do an integration. Like if there's a lot of users that use something and they want it, and that if we have an integration with this tool, then we're gonna get more users from it, then yeah, we would do it, right? But if it's something that would essentially make it more difficult or make it more complicated or tarnish, maybe something in WordRocket, then we wouldn't necessarily go down that route. But if there's like a natural integration, like, we have some other integrations in mind of like popular CMS that everyone uses. But if there's other smaller companies and integrations, then we're totally open to do it once the team is right and there's a need for it. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. Hanuman said the images are top notch.
Thank you. Thank you. That's one of our biggest compliments. And we didn't go through a lot of examples here today, but one of our biggest compliments are our images. So as I mentioned, you can see your images in the My Content section here. But yeah, if you go ahead and take a look at it, like these are really, really high quality images.
Perfect. Do you want to check on the? Is it still going on? But the bulk generation.
We can go ahead and take a look at it.
Yeah, just wanna. Oh, it is done.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, guys, just give me 1 second. So this was done, I guess, less than 5 minutes because I did start the timer, and I'm in 5 minute 5:52. Maybe it was probably done before that. So I would say we can just say under 5 minutes. Kind of.
Yeah.
So I start the timer, on the side when you started the generation process.
I'm glad you did.
Just to
Yeah.
see how long it takes. So guys, with the images, 30 plus images, 10, 10 blog, 10 articles. And I think one of the article you picked like 5 images as well too.
Yep.
Right? So it's pretty impressive. Again, we would not be able to go through all of it, but it's interesting.
Yep.
So,
With internal links and everything as well too, and references.
we have another question from Ikram. Ikram, he's in Mississauga, in Canada. So really nice to have all Canadians users, Canadian founders. It's exciting.
Very
How
much.
about schema? From Ikram, the schema, the SEO schema or
Oh,
schema.
schema. Sorry. What was the question?
How about schema? I don't know what he's.
So we
I can
have
just
schema markup included. So every time, so when you push your articles over to WordPress, there's schema. So schema is essentially just a description, a code-based description that allows like bots to read the information on the article. So we have schema markup available. Once you post it over to your WordPress site, you can turn it on or off. But we do have that ability to do so.
Oh, but it's not from the WordRocket side. It's from the WordPress or.
So we had it where you would send it over, and then, for instance, if you're using Yoast SEO, the schema markup will be sent over to the Yoast SEO section, right?
Okay.
Yeah, but it doesn't show up in the articles because if the schema is in the article as written text, then you would have to remove it and then post it, right? So we leave it as that when you upload onto WordPress site, the schema automatically uploads onto like Yoast SEO or whatever plugin you're using.
We have another question from Rohit. Are there content generated AdSense friendly?
AdSense. You're talking Google AdSense.
AdSense, yeah, AdSense.
Yes. So I would say like everything that we do is with our intention with our articles is creating the best possible article for the user intent and for the keyword, right? So that's why like we have all these steps of ensuring we're doing keyword research, we're doing everything we can do to create the best possible article. If you do that, then you will be able to rank on Google, you'll be able to get traffic, you'll be able to get keywords, get more visitors, and grow your, grow your site, which includes AdSense as well, right? Because I think he's speaking about growing like having AdSense on your website from ads or from content. So I would say for sure, because the quality of the content is the highest quality, that you wouldn't run into any issues with like AdSense. Of course, there's different things that comes into AdSense is like that's separate from just your content, but just from a content perspective, I would say you would have no issues.
Okay, we have one more question. I want you to keep it short and sweet on this one, because I think we already know why WordRocket is better and better in prompt too. Rohit is asking, how is WordRocket fundamentally different from just using ChatGPT with a good prompt workflow? Question mark.
Yeah, good question. I would say number one is that we have all of the best models in one place rather than just relying on ChatGPT. As we mentioned before, ChatGPT is kind of vague sometimes, and it's only trained on its information. So number one is we have research mode, which uses Perplexity's research models to do research on the topic to get more up to date information. Number two is we have images. We use our own image models, not just from what you can get generic images. We have internal linking, so you can internally link your articles with each other based upon your sitemap. You could also customize your brand voice to make it sound more like you. We have, the back end of our prompting is really, really intensive. So everything that you get out, you don't have to, pre-prompt the AI every single time to get the output. It's very predictable, consistent, high quality outputs that you get back. And you can use different models, right? Like ChatGPT is not that great at writing, in my opinion. You can use Claude, you can use Sonnet or Opus, you can even use Gemini as well. So you have much more options using WordRocket and the best of everything in one place to ensure that your content is not generic or your content stands out from a competitor or someone else using, let's say, ChatGPT.
Perfect. Kevin is asking, does tier 2 include API?
I think from our tiers we had, maybe you can take a look at it, but tier 2 did not include API.
No,
API
no.
is only tier 3.
Yeah, okay. From the pricing table, I can tell it's from tier 4. But if there is a tier 3 also include API, we will make a correction on our end. But as of now, I can only see it on tier 4.
Yeah, it's from tier 4.
Okay, so it's tier 4 that has a API and full shebang, that you can take full advantage of it, of the tool. Rio is asking, how about the content generation limits? I think we already did that. I don't know if you want to go
Yeah,
over it.
there's no limits on your if you're on any paid plan. You can generate as many articles as you like. Each account or each tier has a limit in terms of images per month that you can generate. But there's no limits in terms of how much you can actually generate.
So for content generation, they still have to use their own API key or a free version, right? Or Google Studio or whatever they want to use, right?
For images, we include images. The user does not have to pay for images. We include images in each plan.
Perfect, makes sense. What else we got? Hanuman said tier 5, which is fine. I think he was referring to our content. May I get a tier 4 for birthday? Kevin, that was a. I don't even buy that kind of expensive gift from my wife. Can you share a real example of user achieving strong ranking or traffic with WordRocket?
Yeah,
I don't know if you want to share, but I don't know. It's maybe a little bit of privacy issue. Maybe you can share yours content that you had a success with.
Yeah, well, I did a public case study, right, on my YouTube channel. So it's public, it's out there, where we grew this website. So this is the website here. We grew the website to over, yeah, it's kind of dipped now, but we grew the website to over, from 0 to, getting over, I think it was like 50,000 at its peak. If you take a look at it, right? 125,000 search traffic. Now it's at 50,000 search traffic per month, right? So we grew to its peak at 100,000 search traffic. Google changes, there's different updates that happen. But we did a public case study of this on my YouTube channel. And apart from my own, public YouTube, I get a lot of testimonies from clients as well. And we're putting that all together. But if you simply go on my YouTube channel, you can see, the growth of this specific website from literally when we took over. So we took over like around before there, we took over around here. So it was a huge, huge increase in traffic that they got over time.
Here you go, guys. So this is something we don't get to see very often, where you can see it. He's showing you right there. It's not there's many content writing tool. How WordRocket is different. You can see it. You can see how he progressed. So that makes a huge difference. Where Avi is okay. Avi is gone. No, Avi was gone, but came back very quick. Uh, okay, is Rohit is asking, is WordRocket user friendly for beginners with no SEO background? I like this question actually.
Yeah, I would say so because apart from everything that we discussed in today's video, if you just sign up and you go over to topic, you don't even set up anything else. You just go over to topic and you enter in your keyword, whatever it may be, like something like this, how to get approved for a mortgage in 2026. And if you just enter this right here, you're good to go. You don't have to enter in your sitemap. You don't have to do competitor analysis, right? You can simply just go ahead, set it up, and then you can just go ahead and click generate content and you're good to go. So you can get more advanced as you learn the platform more and more. But if you just wanted to get started, enter in a topic, you could totally do so and get some really, really good results. So I would say for sure, as a new beginner, you would be able to get a lot out of WordRocket and use it for your SEO needs.
Perfect. I don't know if this question is, where does the tool still struggle compared to human writers? Okay. Okay, I'll actually ask that question, but I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
okay.
where does the tool still struggle compared to human writers?
Well, I think
Is
in general, it's like AI writing versus human writing, right? And I think no matter no matter how good AI maybe gets, maybe I'm wrong, maybe it gets better than human writers, but I think when it comes to certain things, there's a human touch, a human understanding of context, a human understanding of how other humans interpret things that only a human can write about. So I would say like, if you're in a niche and you write very like, personable things, you write something about like your life or you write about traveling, right? About your adventures in a specific place, that's going to have unique information about that human that only they can write about, right? So I
yeah,
think when it comes to like really personable narrative anecdotal stories or article writing, a human is always going to do better than an AI. But when it comes to like informational um, writing or writing that is about like different, evergreen topics or even newer topics, analytical writing, technical writing, I think an AI does better than humans.
yeah, and I want to also my point of view. I want to put it out there. The human writing, regardless, you wanna praise it. It's better, or at the end, even when the humans are writing, right? Unless you're writing in a book or you're actually handwriting it, but if you're using any editor, a lot of editor, they will have fixed grammar or fixed phrase or fixed. They have already start adding all these things. So even though if you don't want AI, the AI is still there. It will
Exactly.
auto fix your grammar. It will auto fix the phrase. So I unless it's you write it with your pen and but even like publishers, they will use AI to make sure there's no grammar mistakes and the sentence makes sense, right? So, and I think it's the AI written content. I think once you start, sparkle your own touch into it, your own view, how you want people to read your content, and what story you want to be out there. Um, that will makes a better content for readers.
Exactly.
I don't know the ranking wise, but for readers, it will make better content. Let's go. Interesting is I'm just trying to catch up with those questions. So unfortunately, I cannot show those questions. I cannot display it on the screen. If everyone start using AI create content, how does Rocket stay competitive?
If everyone uses AI to write
Uh,
content, how does WordRocket stay competitive?
yeah, like I think I know where his head is
I think I
going.
understand the question too.
Yeah, exactly.
So
But
yeah, I would say it really comes down to like research, right? Like where are you getting your information from?
yeah,
So I think the question is that if everyone is using AI, everyone's using Claude, everyone's using ChatGPT to write content, then where do you stay? How do you differentiate yourself?
yeah.
Um,
You
yeah,
want me to answer it quickly?
sure.
Okay, so what I believe, like for example, if I'm writing a content and if I have zero experience in SEO and stuff like that, where somebody who has some knowledge of SEO has a good background or know more than me, then I assume that his content will be probably much better than mine. So that's where I think you differentiate yourself. Everybody can write a content about roofing costs or square foot repair. If I was generating that content, my content probably will end up looking very different than Avi's,
Yeah.
uh, just because he has a much higher background of in SEO and expertise.
Yeah, I would say so. I think it's just the experience, and then also like I think we differentiate ourselves with like a couple things. Like our keyword research tool is pretty unique as
Yeah.
well. Our way that we write our content, our prompts, our images, our models. So I think there's a couple our automations as well. We didn't even get a chance to go into automations.
I
Um,
know.
yeah, that's a
We
we'll
are
probably
hitting 2 hours here, brother. I haven't done 2 hour live stream for a very long time, so we'll try to wrap it up as quick as possible. I
we'll do
want to
one.
go through these questions quickly. Hanuman is saying, I can see the full white label for agency being a great touch for Earlybird gang. Yes, it is. Thank you, Hanuman. Bulk generation is interesting. Thank you. Do you need to have a paid subscription to AI like ChatGPT? And
No, you do not. So the great thing about using Open Router is that you set up with Open Router, and Open Router has all of the models that you need to use WordRocket. So you do not need any other subscription to any other AI tools.
um, I actually, I'm trying to make this short, but I don't know. I can. Do you want? Is it possible? Like the 10 bulk generation you did.
Yeah,
Can you check how much it cost?
I can. Yeah. So if you go
Because the
over,
reason, and I don't know if you need to go to Open Router to check it, or can you check it in
so
WordRocket?
the best way to check it is to go to Open Router
Okay.
because like this is where you generate your content, right?
Okay.
So look at the cost here, right?
Okay.
So
Sorry, I'm gonna share your screen. Go ahead.
yeah. So do you see my screen now?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, cool. So here's a cost, right? So if you want to, maybe even if you want to add it all up, you can. So 18 cents, right, was the article, right? 0.01 was how much we did to do the research for that article. So you would combine these two costs together to get the cost of one article.
Yeah. So it's like what, 40 cents? Not even 40 cents.
No, like 19 cents. Like this is less than
Oh, oh, this is not even. Oh,
this
okay,
is
okay.
zero point zero 0.01, right?
Oh, that's, yeah. Sorry, my apologies.
So this is like 19 cents per art, and this one here, this is even sorry. This is 10 cents, right? Or yeah, sorry, this is 10 cents. So this one here is 10. This one's 18. Um, this one here wasn't even. This is less than 10. This is 9 cents. This is 10 cents, right? So your average cost for an article is like 0.12, 0.13
This per article we are talking about.
per article. Yeah, right.
Nice.
And you can see it all here. So you can get a lot done with $10 per month, $20 per month. So that's why it really scales. Because if you were to use another tool, any other tool, the more you write, the higher you have to subscribe to another plan, right? So you could be at $100, $100 per month, just to generate content. But with this, if you're at 15 cents per article, let's see, 0.15 times, right? If you're at 15 cents per article, you could do 100, in like for like quarter for $15,
Yeah.
compared to like if you had to use another tool where you pay more as you increase the plans, right? So it's
Yeah.
relatively cheaper than not using your own API key.
Makes sense. Let's try to get this quick. Okay. We have plenty of questions going on. Yeah. Rohit is asking, can Word Rocket support automatic insertion of affiliate link within generate content so user can monetize article faster?
Yes.
Yes.
Uh,
Okay.
can I
Sure. Okay, go for it. Go
sorry,
for it.
we definitely have to do a part two because we didn't get to go through everything.
We didn't actually,
But
so we probably gonna try our best.
yeah, so if you go to product roundup, right? If you go to product roundup here, and then we go to manual, so you're adding in your products. You can see here, right here has a spot for affiliate link. So once you enter in your
Sorry,
affiliate,
sorry. I apologize. I wasn't sharing your screen. Go ahead.
that's
Sorry.
okay.
Go ahead.
So under product roundup, because you're gonna only need this for affiliate articles. If you go to add a product or a tool, so add a product for your product roundup article, you can enter in your affiliate link right here. So once you enter in your affiliate link, right? If I load any of my any of my products, it will already have my affiliate link into that product. So once you generate your article, it's gonna have your article with that affiliate link or that product with that affiliate link already embedded.
Genius. Here you go. So, Trevor, any way to add knowledge for article generation?
I think he's speaking about knowledge base, maybe.
Base. Yeah.
So we have the brand voice, which allows you to you can add information in there. You could also add in information in the additional section, but as of now, there's not like a dedicated knowledge base. Um, per se, I would say use the brand voice mode or the additional instructions for the article. But again, that's a good thought. That's something we can probably combine with the brand voice, which is a knowledge base as well.
Okay. Kevin, how good does this handle top five bees barber shop in Wisconsin or top five best Airbnb in Wisconsin? Kevin, we would not be able to go through this right as of now. We have already uh, passed our demo time, and maybe next time. But I will. Or maybe we'll do another one, and then we can ask you all of you guys to give your keywords, and we'll do the content
Yeah,
generation for you.
we can do
But
that.
sometimes agencies don't want to share those keywords, right?
We can do basic ones, yeah, if they want. We can do like live article generation. You can take a look at it. We can.
What so Philip is asking, what is the best LLM model for use with WordRocket?
I would say Claude Sonnet 4.6
Okay.
and Perplexity Sonar Reasoning Pro.
Okay. What major feature are you planning next? Actually, this is a good question. I want to know that too.
Very good question. Um, so we want to first improve upon certain things. So we want to improve upon our keyword research tool. It is good, but we want to make it more seamless with our other models. So, like for instance, what we did today was we generated keywords and then we had to download it and upload it onto our bulk generation mode. We want to have a way in which you can send it straight to bulk generation mode, which we are working on. So it's seamless that you can generate content directly from keyword generation and not just one article, multiple articles. So that's one. The second is going to be more integrations we want to create. So we have Webflow. So if someone owns a Webflow site, they can post directly over to Webflow. Shopify as well is another platform in which we want to build out a that's a little bit further down the line. But right now we have our integrations and we just have improvements of kind of what we currently have, improving upon our API or MCP. Those are actually like API, MCP, and white label were in our roadmap, but we kind of expedited it a little bit faster because of Earlybird. We wanted to get it out. So it's still really, really good. So we want to just kind of improve upon those aspects as well.
Perfect. Where is this? Uh, okay, so this is a little bit of controversial question I got. And I think a lot of people will wonder this. I'm not surprised it came up. But if you watch the video, you will know why. How does the word rocket compare with Content Pen?
Yeah, so I've looked at Content Pen. I haven't used it extensively. Um, so I don't really know the ins and out of their software, right? But what I can say is that some softwares can have frills, right? Frills is like, you know, all these things around it, but then when you actually use the core feature of the article, it's not good. So I would say for us is that I didn't want to focus on the frills of the article. I wanted to focus on the core competency of the article, which is creating the best possible articles. And that's what WordRocket does, right? We make it simple to use. It's scalable because, again, you're using your own API key. Even though you're using your own API key, we still absorb the image cost as well. So it doesn't cost you more to generate content with WordRocket, and you have world class pre-prompted and a wealth of experiences that's been put into the articles and the backend to get it to where it is. And I think also on top of that is our integrations. Our WordPress integration is very, very good. It works seamlessly for you to post your content onto your website. And we also have Ghost CMS. And another part is, again, automations. We didn't go through it, but automations allows you to essentially hands off. I can tell the AI, this is my niche, this is what I talk about, this is what I want to write about, and the AI will go out, it will research the topics, intelligently choose the topics, and post it on a schedule. It could be once a day, once a week, once a month, and post it onto your site directly without you literally having to do no interference, right?
Yeah,
So things like that, I think that's what differentiates us.
yeah, you're making me feel bad because this is something I want to know too. But let's leave it for next time. But I want to add something. So Avi is, he has a quite, quite a long experience in SEO, and he knows what are the challenges and what things need to be added. Plus, you could see it from the demo, the features and how you can control the content limit and stuff like that. That they understand uh, what they are doing. Where sometimes other products, they do create good product, but doesn't mean that product specifically they know more about this product. So this is I think the biggest difference I would see. And you don't have to take a word for it. You can just see it yourself. Like, you can see how quickly we generated the content. We showed the bulk generation. You can see clearly, like, it's not that somebody coming and making a post in the group and oh, this tool is awesome and stuff. It's actually, you see it, we do it live. Okay. And if you do have any trouble, you always reach out to Avi and he will help you out. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the biggest difference I see. Uh, what else we got? What major features are you planning next? We already went through especially the image part. Why no? Why not a credit system for AI generation?
Well, that would mean that you wouldn't have to use your own. I think this person is asking why is there like a using your own API key? Why wouldn't there be a limit? And the idea is simply like it's meant for scale. It's meant for if we had a credit system, then we couldn't, our cost would be higher essentially, and a price would be, you know what I mean? And I think in today's day and age with AI and how things are, like, there's no need, like, and it's easy to use your own API key. It's easy to set it up,
Yeah.
and it's better for the user long term.
Yeah, yeah, I agree, and those business are not sustainable, especially when they come on lifetime deals. They either disappoint you, either they use a lower version of AI generation,
Yep,
which will give you a bad content, and you will not be happy anyway. So you will not end up using it. So
exactly.
it creates that the circle where the founders struggle. This way, the hard work is put in there by Avi and his team. WordRocket is doing all the heavy lifting from there, and as you see that even doing the 10 articles cost like what? How much was it? 10? Not even $10, $1,
Not,
$2.
yeah, 10 cents or a dollar, a little bit over a dollar. Yeah,
Dollar, right? So, but it makes it sustainable for a founder and no compromise, right? So you have to understand, like people who are giving you monthly credits, they compromise on the content, and that's where you actually will stop using it.
yeah.
And that's
You,
how
you you
some of
wouldn't
the
be able to have access to the best models and things of that nature.
Exactly, because they can't.
The cost would be
So I really like it. Really enjoyed the complete walkthrough, and I think that's about it. And if there's any more questions, we'll answer them in the comments. Thank you so much, Avi, for such a long. I think we have to do a couple of more to cover this, and maybe somehow we can shrink it down a little bit. But I don't know how we can shrink it down. But it was a very detailed.
hard.
Any last words before we end our event?
I just want to say thank you, Sam. Thank you for the early bird. It's exciting to meet new people that that haven't heard about WordRocket that want to use it. This is really like, this is something, again, as I mentioned, I haven't. It's not an overnight project. It's been a long time in coming, and I put a lot into the tool. And for me, it's all about the user experience and ensuring like users have the best experience when using the tool. We're not perfect, but we try our best to be really, really good and have high standards. And I hope that that comes across when your users, try out WordRocket, and we would hope that they would also, get a paid plan as well. But overall, I just want to say thank you for having me, and thank everyone for watching and for all the questions. And I'm sure we'll talk more in the group.
Thank you so much, Avi. I just want to end this event. Again, guys, if you like the tool, please check out the plans. Tier 4 has all the shebang. It comes with white label agency plan. And again, if you are just a solo, you might be okay with Tier 2 as well. Also, please do subscribe to Avi's YouTube channel. He has a full guide there too. He's showing each feature he released. He makes a video for that. Uh, do join Earlybird Facebook group. We have a full community. Feel free to ask questions. You can directly get in touch with the founder as well, and myself, Omar. We are all we hang out. That's where we hang out. Thank you so much, Avi.
Thank you, Sam.
Bye, everyone.
Bye,
Hang
everyone.
in there. I will announce the winner for 50% coupon. Just give me some time, get me some water, and we'll do and make an announcement later, either today or tomorrow. Thank you, Avi. Bye, guys.
Bye.